right, I'm going to say a few things real fast, and I want you to listen to me really good. This shit is continuing on, and there were two videos that I had been sitting out on, holding back, and I wasn't even going to put them up. I've had people tell me, George, don't feed into it. That's all you're doing. You're feeding into this shit. Don't do it. Do your work behind the scenes. Well, yes, I am doing my work behind the scenes, and best believe me now, there's a lot of shit that's going on. I'm going to say a few things. Timothy K. Reddy, you know what? I don't know what your problem is. You're digging up stuff and digging up this and digging up my court records and digging up my, the court records. Yes, there is a case that I have filed against one Sean Brennan and Will Markland. And yes, I have filed that case to the Federal District, Eastern District Court here in Richmond, Virginia, against Sean Brennan and Will Markland. So, I don't know what your problem is. You want to perpetuate and you want to continue the shit, and you want to, you're the clue guy. You can figure this stuff out. Well, you know what? I'm a PI myself, and I can figure things out as well. Okay? And I'm going to tell you this right now. Talking about somebody that I know from the past, and saying that you're going to have an interview, that there will be an interview with this person. And an interview with this person, and another person coming out and saying that, coming out, who lives here in Richmond now, that's coming out and saying that he knows this individual. I'm going to say this to you. One individual here, and this is going to be one way of tying the ends here. You've been trying to befriend me on Facebook for over a year. Well, I've just gone ahead and deleted your ass. We'll call you by your last name, Mr. Burton. I'm well aware of you. I don't know you personally, but Mr. Burton, don't put your nose in my business, because that will be a mistake. You live close to me, and I can put, we can spin this any way you want to spin it. I don't know you, but put your nose in my business and see what I do. Okay? You all are so desperate that you're trying to get information upon me. You're trying to dig the information up. So therefore you go ahead, my previous co-host, my previous friend, and you want to interview him. It's a ruse. It is a ruse. Because that individual knows that if he puts himself on camera, and if he puts himself on the screen on the internet, his ass goes back to jail. And I'm going to say this. If it's true, his ass will go back to jail, because I'll make sure of it with his probation officer. Okay? You all want to know the story? This man was a friend of mine. I tried to help him. I tried to rehabilitate the guy. All right? I brought him in my home. I caught flack about it with all the neighbors that gave me flack about it. Okay? And I gave him a place to stay. I gave this guy a place to live. Okay? And then he went ahead. His dad stopped paying the rent. He couldn't get a job anywhere. He was a deadbeat. And I still had my differences with this guy, but I tried to help him, because I know his life ain't so good. I know his life was pretty fucking bad. And I was the only friend this guy had. And I took it upon myself, no matter what anybody said, no matter what the neighbors said, I took it upon myself to help this guy. I took it upon myself to help him because I felt sorry for him, and I got his back because he was my friend. Okay? When he showed his true self in the courtroom against his father, who I took the lawsuit against his father for not paying his rent and living here 9 months free, and his father had disowned him, then that's when I was going to go ahead and get the money that his father had owed me for his rent. Now, yes, he's a grown man, but he had mental issues and he had personal problems, a lot of mental issues. And I was left with the bag, being, his landlord and being his daddy. Well, that's kind of messed up when there's a 1 year difference between he and I. And I said, man, you need to get a job because you're not living here for free. And I tried to let him know that. So his dad had disowned him and he was living here. I was giving him food. I was giving him shelter. I was trying to help the guy out. Well, in the courtroom, he was supposed to go again and tell the story for what it was. He was supposed to get the facts together and tell the story for what it was. Well, that court case that he did, that court case, okay, he turned his back, he stabbed me in the back and made up, and we knew where it was going because someone got in his grill and told him some things. I don't know who, what, where, and how, but I don't give a fuck. His dad owed me money. His dad owed me money for the rent. He didn't pay it. So therefore I took his dad to court, and then he turned, after his dad disowned him, he went back and stabbed me in the back, someone who housed him and fed him for 9 freaking months. Okay? So if that makes me a bad guy, who cares? I don't give a fuck, but I'll tell you, that's the story without naming names. So Mr. Burton, if you want to cross that bridge, you want to cause something, it ain't going to happen. Okay, Mr. Burton, if you want to get, what you want to cause, you want to put your nose in, I'll pop it off. I don't know you from Adam, so don't get in my business, because I'll pop your nose off, if you know what I mean. And if you are out there, MT, you know who I'm talking about, if you do this thing, and if you can go in cahoots with these trolls, you're going back to jail, because I'll make sure you go back to jail. Now, I'm having my childhood house is under foreclosure. That's correct. I have been saving off for foreclosure for 7 years. This is my childhood home. They dropped it on me last Saturday. So right now, I'm under the gun. Okay? But unlike you faggot in California that lives with your parents and doesn't work, at least I work for a living. I pay the bills. I pay everything. Okay? Unlike you who lives with your family, which I know you do, and you don't work. You're a deadbeat fag is what you are. Okay? I own my own business, which I know you've called my business phone, and you've called my business phone on a few occasions. This lawsuit is going to happen. And if it gets thrown out, then it'll go in your jurisdiction. But this lawsuit will happen, and it's going to happen. I will get through this. All this that's happening to me, I'm keeping my home. I'm going to keep my home, and I will get through this. So don't worry about that. You all are pretty fucking desperate to be trying to grudge up every nook and cranny about me and my personal endeavors. You're all pathetic losers. Get a fucking life. Like I said in the other video, the way to take care of the situation is to chop it off of the head. And Sean Brennan, you've created this fucking thing for me. You've created this. And the way to chop it off is to chop it off the head. And I'm going to do as such. Everything that I have said and done to you has been out of retaliation. Everything that I have done and said has been out of retaliation. And people will tell me, George, don't feed into it. You're feeding into it. Don't feed into it. You got my house on the internet. You posted that thing on the internet. I'm saving my house. Yes, I'm having financial difficulty, but I am saving my house. So fuck you. Fuck all of you. I hate every one of you. I don't know half of you, but I hate your fucking guts, every one of you. You want to troll somebody you don't fucking know. You want to harass somebody and someone's production and steal intellectual property that doesn't belong to you. I want to say this. Fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. You all are mentally fucking ill. You got mental issues. I will do what I have to do. You all keep talking and talking and talking. Keep grasping. Okay? But I have said pretty much what needs to be said. And I've told the story for what it is. There ain't no story. And MT, if you do something, I'm going to go to your probation officer and you'll go back to jail. That's a promise. And Mr. Burton, back off. Mr. Burton, don't get in my business. Back the fuck off or else. I mean what I say. You other trolls out there, fuck you. Fuck every last one of you. This is not, you all need to get a fucking life, and you all need to get a fucking clue. You don't harass someone. You don't fucking stalk someone. You don't predatorily stalk someone. What this is mental illness. I'll take care of it. And I'm going to take care of it, Mr. Brennan. This little lawsuit is just the beginning. I'm going to do some other things. And Mr. Brennan, you'll know about that pretty soon.